All right, guys, so when I first started painting cars, it was not because I wanted to be a painter by any means, but basically because I couldn't afford to pay the real guy.
I've only got 7.
But I can't lie to you, I made a lot of mistakes trying to figure this out all on my own.
It's over. We are screwed.
So today I'm gonna show you guys my entire process for prepping a car for paint so that if you're considering painting your own vehicle, hopefully you end up with a paint job that lasts a very long time. All right, so we got this old C10 here. Customer called me up. He's got a custom paint job. He asked me, hey man, what can you do with this thing? And I said, better than that.
I don't understand the whole, like, you know the picture like people do with birds when they draw? That's what that reminds me of.
I kind of get the idea, but not well executed.
Well, that's just terrible.
But the body's actually real straight on this thing, so it's going to be pretty easy for me just to jump out here, basically get it all sanded down. I'm going to show you guys what I use and how to do all of that. Basically, the only body work that we really have to do on this is he wants to do away with these mirrors. So the mirrors are going to come off. I have to weld up these holes, body work those, spot prime it, and then basically after that, it's just sand and prep and get this joker sprayed.
Sand, prep, take all the little small stuff off.
Marker lights come off, bumpers probably come off, hood's going to come off, stuff like that. But this thing's going to be two-tone. It's going to be, I think it's called peacock green on the bottom. We're going to two-tone it. The top's going to be silver. It's going to be silver from here up because I believe that's how they did it from the factory, but that's what he wanted. Go ahead and end it right here. So the silver will go down into here. This will be green. The silver will come down to here and fall all the way around on the back. So this thing's going to look pretty good. It's got a, I think it's got a little 350 in it. Runs pretty dang good. The interior of this joker,
from what I've seen,
basically immaculate, dude.
That is probably the cleanest interior of an older vehicle I've seen come here.
It's very nice. So doors are going to be coming off because we want to paint the door jambs, and I don't like tape lines. So there's a lot of work to be done here. Paint prep is the most important part. People think that painting is difficult. It's the prep part because anybody can spray paint, but if you screw up the prep, paint ain't going to stay on it no how.
According to some people, 90% is the paint, 10% is just the prep.
I don't know where you got that math. I think you might have a little back.
I think it's from that Cleaton Squirrel restoration.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. 90% paint, 10% prep. But we're going to get this joker pulled in the shop, get these mirrors off, get that welded up, get the body work started. We're going to get started sanding this thing, tearing it down and all that good stuff, and bring you guys along for the process.
Oh, this joker does sound pretty good.
Not too bad, son.
Not
Got a
too
little let me pop the hood. I'll show you the little 350.
Yeah, I haven't even seen anything of this truck yet, really.
It's pretty slick. Oh, you know what? You know what? I'm losing my mind. This don't have a hood pop.
It's got the old school stuff.
It does. It's old school. It's right here. Man, my fingers don't fit in. Let me see if I can bounce it up a little bit. There we go.
There we go.
Oh,
there we go.
Tree fitted.
Oh, sheesh.
Tree fitted.
Sheesh.
Well, it's small block Chevy.
Small block Chevy.
Small block Chevy. Anyways, so the grill's gonna be coming out of this joker. Probably gonna take the fenders off. I haven't decided yet. He did ask me about doing a little bit of adjustment on that, but mostly what we have to do, these things have to come off because it's got little bolt holes here, and he's got these little slick mirrors, son, that's gonna look good on it after it's painted. Them right there, boy. Them right there.
Oh.
So these will mount like right here. Not right here, but they'll mount up here on this. So then we'll get them adjusted and all that stuff. So it's gonna be a sharp little truck. It's already super solid. There's no rust in this thing at all. But I think the color scheme he picked out is gonna be absolutely killer. I think it's gonna look good, and it ain't gonna look like that.
I ain't gonna look like no 5-year-old drew a bird.
No. right, guys, so we got all of our mirror holes welded up on both sides and ground back. So what I'm going to do next, I'll take the DA and I'm going to sand all of this back with 80 grit. So that way I can prime over it. We're going to body work that. There's just a little bit of body filler in this door. It's not anything crazy thick, but it's like a little skim coat there. So we're going to body work this back. We'll sand back a little bit so we've got a good patch area. Unfortunately, I noticed a little bit of bubbling in the bottom of this door. So I went ahead and started digging there. So the next step for this door, obviously with all this body work, this is going to have some metal work for rust repair. I'm not going to go too crazy as far as like talking about that on camera because this is a paint prep video, not a rust repair video. So this door is going to come off tomorrow. It's going to be stripped completely up to here so that I can see what's going on down here, fix what's got to be fixed so it can be epoxy primed, body worked, and all that good stuff. But other than that, once we get over this little hump right here, it's going to be pretty much downhill. I'm going to call it a day for today, but I'll be back in the morning and I'll start breaking down what we do to get this thing prepped and ready for paint so we can start getting ready to spray some new color on this thing because this Joker is going to look absolutely insane. But again, calling it a day for today. We'll get back out here tomorrow, get these doors wrapped up, and we are going to start getting ready to spray paint. Well, it's the next day, and we have a little bit of a change of plans. I was going to go ahead and start addressing the rust in the bottom of these doors today, but it's pretty humid, and like everything is covered in dew or humidity or whatever, so I really don't want to expose too much of that metal to all of that today. And this video is not about rust repair anyway, it's about paint prep, and that's the most important part. So that's what we're gonna do, is focus on prepping the rest of the truck, because also, if we take the doors off, we expose all of his interior to dust. Not really trying to do that, you know what I'm saying?
I ain't trying to clean.
No, so we're just gonna wait on that part, but we are gonna go ahead and do as much paint prep as we can today to show you guys that process. And with that said, we started doing a little bit of investigating, and this right here, to begin with, we thought it was paint. But now that we have got close to it and we've looked, it's a bunch of stickers.
Yeah, somebody was just too lazy to do some nice pinstripes the old school way.
It's just pinstripe tape. So I've started taking that off, and I wanted to show you guys, if this is something you're doing, the easiest way and best way to take those off is one of these babies.
Nice old rubber wheel.
Oh, adhesive remover wheel. And disclosure, these jokers are like $40 if you buy them at the local parts house. We checked O'Reilly's. It's about what they were. But you can go to good on Amazon if you got a couple of days, and you can get one for like $9. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can get a 4-pack for like $25. So definitely better to be able to wait, because this joker takes this off just as pretty as can be, just like that right there. Just erases it. Don't hurt the paint, don't do nothing. So if it's one you're not painting, you want to take it off, use one of them right there. I will say, I went ahead, did some research for you guys, and I have posted that link in the description of this video. And I do have to tell you, if you buy through that link, it's going to support the channel just a little bit. We get a little bit of a commission. Nothing crazy, but we would definitely appreciate it if you bought it there. Definitely a good tool to have, especially if it's something you're not painting and something you're driving every day and you're just like removing badges, removing stickers.
Oh yeah, like
sort of
the old Silverados, like old trucks in general, they got those weird like
the badges.
Yeah,
and
the long badges that go along.
And they got tape behind them.
Yep.
This will take that off, won't hurt the paint, nothing. Never even know it was there. So that's what we're gonna do next. We're gonna go ahead and get all this stuff removed, and then I'll show you guys what we're gonna use to paint or to sand everything. And then that way, when you start prepping your own, you know exactly what you need. You can go pick it up, get back, get to work, and get your car painted. So I'm gonna get these stickers off. We'll start doing some sanding. Just like that, about 10 minutes later, there ain't no more stickers on the bed.
On the bed.
They everywhere else.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna show you guys real quick, because we're probably gonna set a time lapse up and let Hunter take care of some stickers, and I'm gonna go ahead and start paint prep so we can get twice as much done, twice as fast. So next thing that I do is, because like on this, there's a little bit of a ridge there. So what I'm gonna do is take my old DA here with a slightly used piece of 320 and put it here on some air. And the cool thing about this, on a DA, in case you don't know, it don't just spin, it moves. So it's like all over. So it really makes the scratches random, which helps hide it under paint. But I'm gonna start with 320, and then I'll come back over that with 400. And I'll be honest with you guys, I probably go a little bit overboard when it comes to my prep, because I dry sand it, but then I'll also wet sand it right before it goes in the booth, because I gotta wash it anyway. And wet sander just helps to break some of that stuff loose if it's stuck on there or whatever. but also it helps me to go over everything by hand so that I know every part of it's been hit. But we take this little 320 here and over these ridges and all. Gotta keep that sander flat, otherwise you dig holes. And it just feathers that line right away. So now you got you a nice smooth transition, and once you seal everything, spray it with sealer, all those ridges go away, paint over it, nice and slick. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And dude, be nice and slick, because once you get it under clear coat, you don't want to know none of this junk was here.
Yeah, you want to make it look like it was factory.
Make it look like it came that way, man. So we're gonna take this 320. I'm gonna run over the whole bed. I'm gonna let Hunter have my drill, run over them stickers. So again, this 320, run over that whole line, and I'm gonna swap over to 400, sand the whole thing, and then once we get through with all of that, I'll show you guys what we do next. Alright guys, so I have done quite a bit of sanding on this. Obviously, again, I still have not touched the door because there is a lot of work to be done on both of these doors, but I want to make sure that I take care of all the rest of the truck before I open up the interior and worry about getting dust or anything like that in there. But I wanted to show you guys real quick. I did go ahead and swap over on my DA sander to some 400. You can see I've been working on it right there a little bit, and I worked on this bed. But I only did half the bed because I wanted you to see the contrast between the back, which is still shiny, and then not shiny. Not shiny is good when you're getting ready for paint. Shiny is bad. I did go ahead and blow all of that off with an air nozzle so you guys knew you weren't looking at dust, and I also wiped it down with glass cleaner. So it's good and clean, and this is just sanded versus not sanded. And so I want to clarify real quick, I am not a professional at this, and I have no training whatsoever. This is 100% just stuff that I have figured out that works for me over the years, and I've painted a lot of vehicles, and I've had some really good results on pretty much all of them. So again, this is just stuff that I have found works for me. There may be somebody that's a professional watching this video that knows that I'm doing something wrong, and if I am, please let me know, because I'm all for learning, and I want to make sure that I continue to put out a good product and work and do the best that I can possibly do. But again, this works for me. So I want to say that whenever I'm using a DA, I usually sand with 400, which is what gets me that. So on a DA, 400. If I'm hand sanding, I'm not going to go below 600. Simply because a DA is dual action. It's all over the place, and it makes those scratches random. So whenever I spray sealer and then base coat, it tends to hide that very well. You don't see the sanding scratches. Whereas if I was using 400 and I was sanding by hand, it's either back and forth or in an X pattern. And so those scratches are linear rather than random. And so I've just found that works best for me, and that's what you want. You definitely don't want to see the scratches under your paint, because it makes it look bad, and it also gives a place where if it's a metallic paint, the metallics can stand up, and it just ends up looking terrible. So DA 400 works well, and hand sanding, wet sanding, 600 works well. So that's what I have found works well for me, and that's the process that I take. And again, that may be a little bit overkill because I do sand twice. Usually I use a DA, and then before I wash it, I run over it real quick by hand with 600 wet, and then I wash it, pull it in the booth. But anyway, that's as far as I'm going to get on it today, because it is getting a little bit late in the day, and I've got to go cook dinner and stuff like that. But I'll get back out here in the morning. We're going to get this thing finished out, sanding, and then we're going to take the doors off, do what body work we have to do there, and get those prepped and get this joker ready for color. So I'm going to call it a day. I'll see you guys back in the morning. guys, so everything on the truck right now is sanded with the DA that's going to be sanded with the DA. So again, went over where the pinstripes were with 320, and then we stepped up to 400 and went over all the flat areas and all of that. So the next thing we're going to do is pull this thing outside. We're going to go ahead, rinse it off. We're going to wet sand it with 600. And primarily the reason that I do that is because of all of these little areas like that obviously I don't want to put a DA on because we'll be dug holes and you'll see it under the paint. It'll just make it wavy and all of that. But also, you know, little places like up in here where the DA is not going to fit, and then in here. And so there are some things that need to be hand sanded. But also because whenever I go over it with 600, it breaks loose all of this sand and dust and stuff that may have been left behind. So then I can wash it and then it's ready to go in the paint booth. So that's what I'm going to do next is go outside. We're going to go ahead, turn on the water hose, and it's cold outside. So this is going to suck really badly. But we're going to take some 600, go over this entire thing by hand. Again, I'm going to point out that we have not touched the doors yet because these doors are coming off, as well as the hood and the cowl panel. So all that's going to be sanded by hand, but we got a lot of work to do on those doors. But again, this is not a rust repair video. This is a paint prep video. But I will say, if you guys want a rust repair video, let me know in the comments, and we'll break out either the Chevy 2 or the Camaro, or the tube chassis Camaro body or something, and we'll go through some rust repair. But we're not going to do it on this one. So I'm going to jump in this truck, get it outside. We're going to do some wet sanding, and the body is going to be ready for color. All right, guys, well, the truck is wet sanded for the most part. Again, I want to reiterate that I haven't touched the doors. I also haven't sanded the hood or the tailgate, and I still have to sand the door jambs once we get the doors off and all that stuff, just scuff those up. Another thing to note is once this dries, I'll be able to see if there are any shiny spots left. And basically what I'll do with that is I'll take either a gray or a red Scotch-Brite, and I'll just touch up any areas that need to be touched up. I did forget to take off the little grommet that goes around the gas cap here. So I'll pop that out. I'll sand around that probably with some sandpaper and then just wipe it down. I also have to take that back bumper off. But other than that, obviously I can't take the hood off by myself. That's going to be a lot for one person. So I'm going to have to wait till I have some help back here. Then we'll get the hood off the cowl panel, and then what needs to be sanded off the truck will be sanded off the truck. So this paint job is probably going to be a 2-day process. Pretty much, since the body is ready, I'll probably come in here early next week and go ahead and spray the body and the roof, and then that way I can have the doors, the hood, the tailgate, all that stuff off, and I can work on that outside the booth after I paint the truck. So obviously, like I said, I can't get this stuff off by myself, so I have to wait until I have some help. And then, obviously, I do still have a lot of work to do on those doors, repairing that rust. But other than that, the rest of the truck is pretty much ready. So I can go ahead and spray that, and then I can come in the next day with the pieces off the truck, get them in the booth, and get those sprayed as well. And then that'll just make things a lot easier. But that said, if you guys want to see the finished product once I get this thing sprayed, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel because I am going to be dropping that video probably next week, just depending on how the weather is here in Florida. It's went from like 60-degree days to 20-degree days, back to 60 for a day, and then it'll be 20 degrees again. So it's been back and forth. Obviously, if it's freezing, we can't paint. So that just is what it is. It's the nature of the beast doing this stuff. But I am going to be dropping that video either this week or next week. So sometime in the next couple of weeks, this thing will be completely wrapped up. So make sure you subscribe. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure you check out that one right there, because YouTube thinks it'll be the best thing for you to watch next. And please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. We'll catch you on the next one. Deuces.